and welcome to the Victorious Living Solutions podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Nikeya Young, and we're back. We're back in our regular studio. We had some fun. Last week's episode, we were on location, and y'all, I'm missing our little country ranch farm heaven already, but it feels good to be back in the studio. So if you're new here, I'm Dr. Nikeya Young, CEO and founder of Victorious Living Solutions. We're not only a podcast, we are a transformative coaching company, and we empower high potential leaders and teams to crush their goals despite life's challenges and live victoriously. We have several programs that help us to help you and your teams. So check out victoriousliving-solutions.com for more on that. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, pun intended, today's episode is entitled Give Them Flowers. Give Them Flowers. So we're still in the month of May, and this is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I was thinking about, a couple of things got me thinking about this. And one is I attended an amazing leadership event with Tracey Barbour, who is a dear sister of mine. We have had her on the Victorious Living Solutions podcast. So go back in season 10 and I think season 9 also, and look for her. Her episodes are amazing. But she had a leadership conference one-day event, and I attended, and it was fantabulous. But one of the things that she had us to do, one of our assignments, was to think of at least 3 people who have helped you, inspired you in your business, and to give them a thank you, give them a shout out, reach out and let them know you appreciate them. And I thought that was such a good assignment that I decided to turn it into an episode. But I have more than 3 people. And before I get into my list of people that I want to give virtual flowers to, I just wanted to share with you all some stats on the importance of doing this. It is so, so, so important. So the first stat is from a Gallup poll, and it says employees who receive regular recognition are 4 times more likely to be actively engaged at work. Okay? Another statistic is from Harvard Medical School, and it says managers who remember to say thank you see a 50% increase in their team's productivity and efforts. Okay? So very important for all you leaders out there. And lastly, this is a sad statistic, y'all, and this is why this episode is so important. Only 10% of people express gratitude at work on a regular basis, and nearly 60% never express gratitude. Or if they do, they only do it once a year. Okay, so again, like I mentioned, we have several programs, and one of our main programs, Taking Dominion, on victoriousliving-solutions.com. That's an amazing program that we have that helps to bridge any communication gaps that you may have in your team. So if you'd like to book me, bring me in to do some work with you and your teams to make sure that everything is flowing smoothly and that you don't have any of those gaps in there and everybody is showing gratitude and appreciation for one another, I would be very happy to do so. All right, moving on. So it is very important to let people know when they have done something that has impacted you in a positive way. Another thing besides the assignment that Tracey gave us at her conference that got me thinking about this is just having a loved one recently that passed away and I didn't get to attend the funeral in person, but they did stream it and I have the recording of it. And there is something so awesome, but at the same time, kind of sad to me about funerals when you get to the eulogy part, where you get to everyone coming up and talking about how wonderful the person was, how much the person meant to them, different things they admired about the person. It's bittersweet because, on the one hand, it's heartwarming because you want to think of the positive things about the person you're remembering. But on the other hand, something in my heart always thinks, I wonder if this person knew that these people felt this way about him or her when they were alive. And because they're not there, their body is present, but their spirit has already gone to wherever it's going to. And so we need to make sure we're giving people their flowers while they can smell them. And you never know when somebody needs to hear that thank you. You never know what people are going through. And just because some people are really good at supporting others and making sure everybody's good and doing all the things, sometimes those are the main people that need encouragement the most because they're so busy giving and pouring out and making sure everybody else is okay. And people automatically assume, oh, they must be fine. So, yeah, just give people their flowers while they can smell them. All right. So, we're going to hand out a few virtual flowers. And y'all, there are so many people. We've been around since 2018 is when I founded Victorious Living Solutions. And there have been many people throughout the years who have been instrumental in helping to get this business up and running, helping keeping it running, getting the word out about what we do. And so I cannot possibly mention everybody in one episode, but I am going to highlight some people, okay? And the first person, straight out the gate, y'all already know, because I give him his flowers whenever I can, and I'm never going to stop doing it. That is Rodney Young Jr., our amazing executive producer. And also my man. Okay? He has been amazing, and I don't take that for granted at all. Every now and again, I'll hear some horror stories or see some horror stories online about women who do not have supportive spouses. And I don't know anything about that. I don't want to know anything about that life. It's so sad to me. I'm grateful that my husband has never been that kind of person. He has always championed whatever I want to do. And y'all, I have wanted to do a lot. We have been married for almost 20 years. We've been together for 20 years and married for 17. And he has seen me try and do all sorts of things. This man has followed me from state to state doing beauty pageants, doing fashion shows in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, wherever else. He has seen me in the studio doing gospel music and doing background vocals. Actually, that's how I met one of the other people on my list, but I'll get to that in a second, because I was one of the writers on her album and I did background vocals for her. But Rodney and I have worked together on everything, all sorts of endeavors. And he's seen me do these things even as a single woman. He's always given me encouragement. He's always been my biggest cheerleader. Times when I'm just like, why am I doing this? It doesn't seem like this is working. Times I'm feeling like I want to give up. He will always come in and be like, I believe in you. You can do this. You got this. Like, you're so close. Don't give up. Like, just amazing. And in addition to that kind of support, he has also put a lot of action behind those words. Okay. So he edits, produces the podcast. The website, and y'all, we got a new website. So our other website was pretty doggone amazing, but this new website is even better. So he's done our web design, our graphics, pretty much anything cool that you've seen with Victorious Living Solutions, he did it. Our logo, he designed that too. Anything you can think of, he did it. And I'm very grateful and appreciative of him for that. So I don't want to cry. Just one person. I got a whole bunch more people. Okay. So the next person I want to highlight is Alyssa Franklin. Alyssa Franklin served as the booking producer for Channel 9 in Chicago, WGN's daytime Chicago TV show. And she just recently resigned from her position there because she's going to move on to other endeavors. But Alyssa was very key, and we've known Alyssa and her family, the Franklins. Shout out to her mother, Terilyn, and Al Franklin, and all the Franklin girls, all the Franklin sisters. They're amazing. But Alyssa was very instrumental in getting me, not my first television appearance per se, but my first television appearances as a subject matter expert. And I'll give you a little bit more of what I mean. I've been on TV for several other things before, but launching this business, this transformative coaching business, and where I'm doing facilitating workshops and I'm doing speaking and I'm really trying to get my name and my brand out there, get visibility, get eyes on it, and build authority, build credibility as a speaker. To get on TV in that vein, y'all, I'll just say it like this. If it were easy, everybody would do it. It is not easy. It's not easy at all. I remember, I want to say 2023. Yeah, 2023 was when I did my first appearance on Daytime Chicago. And I did, over the years, I became a regular contributor talking about mental health and wellness topics. So when I was really trying to ramp that up and get a speaker reel, oh my God, y'all. It was so annoying. You know why? Because in 2020, there was this thing that happened called the pandemic. And so people were still doing speaking engagements, but we really couldn't go anywhere. And it was really annoying. And we were all bored in the house and in the house bored. So I was doing things where I was speaking, but everything was on a Zoom screen because nobody was really doing anything in person. And so when we were coming out of COVID, I was really trying to get back in front of people again. I needed a speaker reel and I needed to speak to audiences of various kinds. When you have a speaker reel, you don't want a speaker reel full of Zoom screen engagements. I didn't, right? So that was around the time when I started trying to pitch myself to organizations to get on television. And very similar to how the acting community works, you can't, when people ask like, oh, how do you get on TV? Or how do you get on this TV show? How do you get on that TV show? How it typically works is you can't just pitch yourself directly to Chicago Fire and be like, put me on TV. Like, that's not how it works. They go through agencies, they go through casting directors. And so you have to get signed to an agency, and that agency pitches you to all these different places. And then if the TV shows go to that agency and see someone on their board and say, oh, yes, I want to see her, I want to see him, blah, 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 blah. Then you get called in for an audition, or your agent sends you for an audition. And then if they so choose, then they pick you and put you on TV. Television and getting picked as a subject matter expert works very much the exact same way. In other words, you can pitch yourself like, hi, I'd love to be on your show. And sometimes some people do get on TV just that way. It's rare, but it happens. But 9 times out of 10, they are going through publicists. So your publicist is pitching, and publicists are not cheap. Okay. And so if you're just starting out in business, you got all kinds of other experiences to pay for. Springing for a publicist is like, okay, we might have to come back to that one a little later. But yeah, so they go through publicists and they get the pitches from them, and then they pick people from there and put them on TV. Long story short, I did not have a publicist. I wanted to talk about some mental health and wellness topics. And I was like, I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm going to just do the homegirl hookup thing, because I did take Alyssa and her job seriously. So I didn't want her to be like, oh, okay, I'll put her on because I know her. I wanted her to put me on because, like, okay, yeah, I know her, but also she knows her stuff and I think she'll be good on TV. So I pitched her, and the first thing she did was she was like, oh, this is really good. And then she told me some other things that I could add to my pitch to make it even better, because she had insight on the kinds of pitches that booking producers get. And the ones that they usually go for usually have this in there and that in there and that in there. And it was just like, oh, that's cool. Okay, great. Give me a moment. And then I went and I added those things and I sent it right back. Y'all, that is golden. That is golden, because that never happens. Usually people are just like, and then they go to the next one. And you never get any feedback on, oh, what could have made my pitch better? What would have made you pick me? You just don't get picked, and they just swipe right and keep going to the next person. So she gave me some insight on what makes a good television segment pitch. And then after I went on, it was fabulous, and she kept bringing me back. And I appreciate that, because she did not have to do that. It could have just been like a one and done, maybe twice. And baby, I would have been so grateful for that one appearance, and was, okay? But the fact that it turned into a regular thing, just shows me I had a lot of respect for what she was doing. She had a lot of respect for what I was doing. It was a great partnership. It made me visible to hundreds, thousands of more people that would have never heard of Victorious Living Solutions before. So that was huge. And I am forever indebted to you, Alyssa. So proud of you and the work that you were able to do there. You did some great work. You got some great guests. And I just know that whatever you do next, God is going to shine through you like he always does. And we'll be watching and cheering you on. All right, y'all. The next person I have, so I have my husband, Rodney, and then I had Alyssa Franklin. The next person I'm going to talk about, I already kind of talked about it, and that is Tracey Barbour. Tracey Barbour is a dear sister friend of ours. She's also in the coaching space. And so that's really huge, because we do the same thing, but she has never had this, this competition, like, oh, she's a coach too, so I don't want to share any of my ideas with her because she's going to take my clients, and none of that crazy mean girl scarcity mentality stuff. Tracey has always been really supportive of me and of Victorious Living Solutions. Just within the past year or two, she has invited me to several events. She's a John Maxwell certified coach. So she's had me come to several events, introduced me to several amazing people, a few of whom I also have had on this podcast. I know you guys recently saw season 10. We had a whole panel of John Maxwell certified coaches that I met through Tracey. Tracey and I have known each other for years. We met through my husband, Rodney. We all went to church together. We used to attend Living Word Christian Center with Dr. Bill Winston. But Tracey would come to Rodney's recording studio in downtown Chicago to do her album. I was blessed to write a few of the songs on there and sing background vocals for the songs on there. So we have years of history, and I truly appreciate her seeing me in that vein and being supportive of me in that end. And then also like, oh, she's a coach now, and completely embracing me and being a big sister and mentor and coach in this space too. I have learned a lot from her. She's a prayer warrior. I can go on and on about Tracey. She's fantabulous. All right. Thank you, Tracey. The next person I want to shout out is Rachel Gregwire. So Rachel Gregwire is, my husband met Rachel because they used to work together at DePaul University. And then we all ended up going to church together as well, back when we went to Dr. Bill Winston's church. Again, met a ton of people at that church. It's a pretty big mega church. So Rachel was instrumental at the very beginning when I was launching Victorious Living Solutions. She got me My first gigs at a college. So DePaul University, they had a career, like a women's career event thing. And so she had me on a panel of speakers talking to women at DePaul University. And then she also made some introductions that led to me getting my first paid speaking gigs. Or should I say, not just my first paid speaking gigs, Victorious Living Solutions first paid speaking gigs. So that was really huge and just always has been really supportive. She was one of the first people to be like, Nikeya, you're really good as a speaker. Like, you could really be getting paid to do this. And, you know, you can really do this thing. And that's huge because anybody who started out in speaking knows in the beginning stages, you're just like, I just want to get some experience. And so you kind of get stuck in this rut of doing things for free, doing things for free. Okay, I'm just getting my feet wet. I'm just doing this. I'm just doing that. She was one of the first people that was just like, uh-uh, uh-uh. I think you selling yourself short. In fact, yep, you are. You are beyond free stuff. Like, you can make that money. Like, I've seen other people who speak and you're just as good as, if not better than those people. And those people are getting paid, and so should you. So shout out to Retro Gregwire for that. Gregwire. I always say her last name wrong. Gregwire. There we go. I think I got it. So Rachel's the best. Okay, the next two people on my list, y'all, are not people per se. They are organizations. Okay. The first one is Toastmasters International. Toastmasters International, y'all. I mean, I can't say enough about it. I don't know. I'm going to have to do another episode one day, like why you should do Toastmasters. I don't know. But I joined in 2019, and the things that I had learned, the people that I have met, it's too much to name. I'll point out some key people who have really, really poured into me and who really, really are responsible for me and my growth as a leader and as a speaker. Valerie Lyons, that was my Toastmasters mama. And she was my area director when I was club president for a couple of years. And then she said, I see some greater leadership in you. I think you should come up to leadership at the district level. And I had only been in Toastmasters a year at that point. And I'm like, what? I'm still trying to learn. She's like, you are a leader. I see it on you. And she called me up to greater. She was leaving her area director position to be a division director. And she wanted me to become an area director under her. I did that, and then eventually I became a division director with area directors under me. So the things I learned from those district level positions, and just from being a regular Toastmaster, different club officer positions, all of that stuff really developed a lot in me and gave me the confidence to do what I do today as a coach and as a trainer. For pay, because amen, Toastmasters is a really good training ground. You don't want to be practicing with people's money. So the years that I did Toastmasters, and it was a lot of service, a lot of just work. I worked really hard in all of the positions that I did. I was very much a go big or go home kind of person. And all of that developed everything in me that you see flowing out today, including the confidence to do a podcast. All of the different pathways and the different exercises that we would have to do to get our speeches under our belt, they were all things that I always use today. So there's a whole there's a whole exercise and a pathway about making a podcast and how to create a podcast. And you could conceptualize an idea, test it out in front of an audience when you go to your club meetings, and then get feedback from the people. That was great. Next time you may want to try this. Oh, thank you. Next time you may want to try that. Priceless. Priceless. And I believe the dues, I haven't been active for like the last couple of years. Like in 24, I think I got out because, well, I was getting my doctorate degree. Hello. So I kind of had to, and things were picking up with Victoria's Living Solutions. But I still pop back in and speak at conferences. I'm going to be speaking at their Summer Toastmasters Leadership Institute, where I'm going to be doing a workshop there. So anytime they need me, even though I'm not regularly active, I come back and help them out with whatever I can, because I'm so grateful for everything that Toastmasters and District 103 has done. So Valerie Lyons, and then the other Valerie, Valerie Smith, also my former division directors, Greg Thompson and Dion Leggin, and many, many, many others. I can't start naming all y'all's names because there's too many people. I was in there for about 5 or 6 years, so I know a lot of people in District 103, and I love you all. All right, the next organization is Black Speakers Network, and that is by Brian Olds. So again, I was not in this organization for as long as I was in Toastmasters per se, but in the short time that I was in it, I want to say up until just recently, because I was active in the fall. I did not renew for the spring, but I'll probably be back this coming fall. So I started in 2023. So 2023 till 2026, early 2026 or late 2025. This organization, okay, first of all, when I joined in the summer of 23, I submitted, they send regular speaker alerts to your inbox. One of those speaker alerts was for a TEDx talk. And I was like, okay, I've been applying to TEDx talks for years, y'all. Years. Do you know the first TEDx talk? Well, I've only done one so far. Believe in God for more. But the first TEDx talk I landed was within less than 60 days of me joining Black Speakers Network. Can you imagine? For years wanting to do a TEDx talk. Oh my God, I want to do a TEDx talk. And then landing one within less than 60 days of joining this amazing organization. Also, they had several things that allowed me to get an opportunity to speak virtually in front of their audiences. And those were really great, juicy conversations that I enjoyed sharing and participating in. And that grew my network and increased my visibility as well. So I'm forever grateful for everything that I learned there. Brian Olds is a Toastmaster too. And I have to mention that because only a Toastmaster could come up with an organization as wonderful as Black Speakers Network. I'm just saying, all roads lead back to Toastmasters. And then, speaking of all roads leading back to Toastmasters, the TEDx talk that I told you all about that I landed through Black Speakers Network, which is run by a Toastmaster, that TEDx organizer was a Toastmaster. She was a Toastmaster too, and she said that was one of the things that strengthened my application because she saw that I was a distinguished Toastmaster, which is an honor that less than 5% of the thousands of members of Toastmasters International all over the world, less than 5% of them have the Distinguished Toastmaster distinction. And when she saw that I had it, she was like, oh, she'll be fine. She liked my pitch and everything. So again, I'm just saying, if you're thinking about Toastmasters International just to help you with your speaking or leadership skills, and you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm thinking about participating, go on and try it out. I've met some amazing people through there. All right, number 7. And this is the last person that I have for today. Certainly not the last person of all the people, but I told y'all we'll be here all night if I try to thank everybody. So I'm just highlighting a few people. But number 7, oh, I wish I had her book out. I should have had it next to me. All right, so this woman, I don't know her personally, but Ashley Kirkwood. Ashley Kirkwood is an author. She's a speaker. She's a trainer. Her book, Speak Your Way to Cash, has been a game changer for me. I've attended so many events of Ashley's over the years, and the first one I attended, the Black Women's Sales Summit in 2023. Rodney got me tickets to the Black Women's Sell live event as a Christmas present. That's how much I love Ashley Kirkwood. And then I got him listening to her, and he was like, oh, this Ashley chick is amazing. And so we both love you, Ashley. We've attended so many of your master classes. We read your book. Her book is not a one and done book. If you are really trying to pursue this coaching, training, speaking thing for real, and stop doing freebies and make the money that you're capable of making in this business, and you're looking for a book or a person that can tell you the best way to do that, if you don't have this book yet, this book right here, this is the paperback version, and this is my husband's copy. I got my copy too. So this is the hardback version that I have is black, and the paperback version is white. Whichever version you see on Amazon, if you can't afford the hardback, get the paperback. I believe there's also an audiobook version, but I'm not 100% sure. I prefer, he said there is. My husband's got it. I prefer getting a paper book. Now, if you want to get the audiobook and listen to it on your way to work or on your lunch break or what have you, then that's fine. But get the audiobook and the paper book. The way we have doggy-eared and marked up the pages in this book, this is a reference book. Like I said, it's not a one-and-done book. This is a book that you will refer back to often at different stages in your coaching business. She coming across her and pouring through her knowledge and her expertise and her passion for making sure that people get paid for what they do is second to none. So Ashley Kirkwood, I just want to say to you, thank you for existing. Thank you for writing this book. I cannot believe you put so much in this book for such a little price. I'm saying for the amount you put in here, if you pay Ashley for one-on-one coaching for everything she put in this book, you're going to be out of some money, honey. You're going to have to sell your Lexus to afford Ashley's coaching one-on-one. But she put you up on a lot in here too. So, she's got different tiers of programs of coaching that you can pay. Of course, one-on-one is going to be the highest, as it should be, because she's a busy lady, okay? She's on the Inc. list. She doing her thing. So check her out. I think she's even got a private Facebook group. Of course she does. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the group. It might be Speak Your Way to Cash. But check her out on everything you can check her out on and get her book. She's getting ready to release a new book, and I'm about to be all on that book like white on rice. If it helps me as much as this book has, baby, I'm all about it. So yeah, those are just a few people and organizations that I wanted to take this podcast episode and take the time out to give proverbial flowers to. Who are some people in your life who have either personally, professionally, spiritually helped you out, empowered you, given you just the right thing you needed at the right time? Drop them in the comments. And then also shout them out. Send them a thank you card. Call them. Send them a text. Send them an email. Buy them a cup of coffee. And just let them know that you really appreciate them. Because, people shouldn't only get to hear that at funerals. And technically they can't hear it because they're not there. So give people their flowers while they can smell them. All right, you all, that is all that I have. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, go to victoriousliving-solutions.com and be sure to subscribe to our email list so you can be in the know with all the things that we have going on, and check out our training programs as well. All right, if you like this episode, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Keep living victoriously. Bye, everybody.